Hey, how you doing? It's Clayton Teedy from the First Home Buyer Club. 100 lessons in 100 days, day 15, lesson 15. Going to talk about the build stages of building your own home. Basically, there's six main stages that happen when you build your own home, from concept through to completion. Now, I'm not going to go in exact detail of everything today because this week I'm going to cover off on each stage, and I'm going to answer most commonly asked questions so that you can cover off in greater detail. But I'm going to talk about the six today. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the prep stage. So that's everything from the concept and working through the designs through to actually prepping the block, which we're going to focus on more tomorrow, to get you ready to pour the slab. So in the prep stage, you know what we're going to, obviously you're going to work through designs. You're going to make sure it fits on your block. And once you're happy, then the specifics of prepping for the block itself is cutting the site, getting it prepared for the base slab, and ensuring that the plumbing and all the rest is in. The base is where you actually pour the concrete for your new home, and that's going to be for the driveway, and the house itself and the alfresco area, and later on the driveway is going to come in. But just the garage, sorry, I think I said driveway. And then the next stage is frame. And obviously that's where you're going to get the timber or the steel frame that's up with the trusses around for the roof and everything ready to go to then start laying stuff on top. Lock up or enclosed stage is when you've got the roof on, you've got the windows in, you've got the doors in. The house is basically secure. The only thing that you might not get from time to time is a garage door might not be in, and that doesn't dictate that it's that you've reached lockup or enclosed stage, as long as the garage door into the house has the ability to be locked. And the reason why sometimes they don't always get put in up front is because if trades knock that garage door or they destroy it, then you got scratches. They got to, pull it out and replace it. So in those early stages, they want to make sure that they've got enough in there that they're not going to start damaging things further on. The enclosed or lock up, as we said, the next one's fixing stage, and that's when they'll start to put a lot more things inside the house. Like start to fit out the bathrooms and the kitchens and all the important stuff inside the house, ready to go. Now, this from the lock-up stage to practical completion, this is going to be the longest part for you. And the reason why I say that is because at the start, when you pour the base, you're like, oh, perfect, the base is poured. We see action. Frame, boom, we see action. Lock up, roofs on, doors, windows, walls, brickwork, all that stuff happens quite quickly. And you see a lot of action there, and you're like, this is just flying along. But then once this is enclosed stage or lock-up stage, that's when you can't actually get inside the house. And as a result, it starts to feel like work is really slowed down, but it's just the more detailed things that happen inside the house that you now can't see are getting done. And then you've got the fixing stage and then follow up with practical completion. Now, once you reach the practical completion stage, generally what happens is you've got to have the house inspected. We always recommend that you go out and inspect it yourself, and we get an inspector out there to write up a report, because for a couple, I think it's about $400. For $400, you've got a detailed report telling you exactly what's wrong, if anything is wrong. And sometimes it's little things like there's a little scratch or a mark in the walls that you mightn't have seen. And it's funny because 100 people could walk through that same house and only 99 of those people don't see this one mark, and then you walk on a different time or a different angle and see it. That's why it's always better to have more eyes having a look. And generally from when you reach the practical completion, because they'll come through and fix up any touch-ups that's needed, you should have keys within a couple of weeks, as long as the bank's paid the last invoice. All right, guys, so I'm going to keep it there. Tomorrow, as I said, we're going to talk about the prep stage of the actual site and what's involved and what you should see. And we'll talk further about the house. All right, guys, thank you. Have a good Monday. Bye.